That was just a footage
1980s.
of when Bob was in Ireland and he was on a
Oh, I
ship.
thought it was the Lake District.
Oh, was it Liquid? I don't. I
I,
was getting
I
coffee
thought
and
it
he was
was. No, it
somewhere.
just looked like the Lake District. Looked like a lake near me.
Let me just turn this down right here. Yeah, well, I appreciate Michael for you jumping on. Like I said, Bob's got to go help. He's got to help
No,
somebody wake up. So
no, it's great news.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I wish I could wake somebody up. It's driving me nuts, man.
So, so this part, I want to go over with you again. I know you said, if I remember everything correctly, 2016 was March for you, correct?
Yeah, probably middle of March, beginning of March, I think.
From
2000, no, not
2006.
not 2000, no, 2018
Oh, that's right. That's right. You were
on New Peak.
2018. Okay,
Mm.
so you were 2018. Okay, but that's right. That's right. So, um, did you? I know you're following Flat Earth too. Did you? You said you got into Mandela Effect first before Flat Earth, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I got into Mandela Effect with the Matrix meme, and then loads of other stuff, and then got into SMQ, and then the Watchers show with Brian and Gloria and Paul Knight. I've been on his show. He's good. And Gloria did a little bit too, but she's not on at the minute. Black Sheep Researcher.
She doesn't. She doesn't do shows no more.
No, but I think she's last time I was on Paul's show, she's gonna go back on sometime soon. But anyway, yeah, I was watching this show and it was well, I was listening to it at work actually. I downloaded it and it resonated so much, and then just kept following it and following it. I thought the guy was nuts talking about flat Earth. To be honest, I was like, everything else makes sense with the Mandela effect. I mean, as if that doesn't sound nuts like already, but so I was open minded, and yeah, and I started
No, no. I
looking
mean,
into.
when you got to be honest with yourself. I mean, come on. You go to school, right? And all you learn is round, round. Earth is round. Astronauts, and then first time you heard somebody talk about flat Earth, back in your mind, like you're nuts, you're
Mm.
crazy. I mean,
What do you know what happened? I was literally, I mean, I was into conspiracies a little bit. I kind of knew the moon landing was a bit fishy, so I saw this thing on Netflix, Mind Poison, that it was called Moon Conspiracy Theory, something like
oh,
that.
Mel Gibson.
And the way I was watching it, it was just basically tearing it to bits. And, but nobody else could see it. I was like, "Can you not see this?" Like people around me were thinking, "No, not Gil. Was it Mel Gibson? No, it was like a cheap ass documentary. I think can't remember the name of it properly. But yeah, I was looking at it thinking this is just completely tearing it apart, and everybody around me was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" I was, "Oh, you not see it's obviously fake as fuck. Wakey wakey." Um, and then I got into started. What did I? How did it come about? I don't know. It took a long time to let go of the ego, though. To be honest, to actually, I mean, I've looked into all the what you call it, the distance thing, the 8 inch per mile squared, and all the usual stuff. And just trying to debunk it as hard as I could because my ego was just clinging onto that fucking pear ball, whatever you call it.
No,
But
no, you're right.
mm,
You're like,
it's
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 back in your
absurd to
mind. You're
think
putting
about.
up that defense right off the bat. You're like, no, come on,
Oh yeah,
you're
yeah,
crazy.
I was
You're crazy, and you're
clinging.
not even willing to listen at first. Like,
Mm,
come on, get out of here with that stuff. Get out of here.
yeah,
But then, but like you said, then when you start actually listening to their science behind it,
yeah,
you're like, wow, that kind of makes sense.
yeah. But I know I can see where all these people that are trying to debunk it are getting it. They're programmed so freaking hard. I mean, I was listening to some guy trying to debunk Brian, and I was thinking, "Oh, come on, Brian, you don't really believe this, do you?" And then a little bit later, I'm thinking, yeah," because I've always thought since I was a kid, how the fuck? I actually asked my uncle because he was heavy into science. I said, "How does the moon stay up? Centrifugal force. Hmm. Doesn't that make things fly off?" And then I started thinking about the like well, you've got your ball, you've got your balls, it's spinning around in a circle. So what are you doing at the North Pole then? Are you just going round a little merry-go-round, whole thing. It just doesn't make sense at all. You've been brainwashed, in my opinion.
So, how do you feel where you were when you first woke up, and how do you feel now where
Uh,
you're at in life with it?
I'm glad I've started waking up, but Jesus, it's hard. 'Cause
I
it
know it's
just
kind of a deep question, kind of, it's
yeah, like I'm in the deep of it now. I'm really starting to see the whole system is literally rigged. Like there's no ifs or buts about it. We're living in a literal matrix. Um, from what I've researched, anyway. I mean, I've tried to debunk everything that all these people are saying, um, and the evidence is just too overwhelming for most of it. Pretty much most of it. And this flat Earth thing, like, I mean, there's high altitude balloons, and it's flat as a pancake, and everything else is just it's CGI or convex lenses, and it just can't be debunked at all. There's even a in the what was it called? Encyclopedia Britannica. Um, I was looking into the firmament online, and I found this piece done. It was a YouTube piece under it, and it was described. I forget what channel it's called. Anyway, shout out to whoever it was. I mirrored the video and edited it a little bit. I couldn't. The comments were off, so I couldn't ask permission. But yeah, it describes an ice wall, 13, number 13, 13, 13,000 foot high. Was it an ice wall or a glass wall? I can't remember.
No,
Uh,
that's what I love about doing this show. Learning stuff for the first time. Like when
mm,
Joey says something on Friday that kind of bring me back memories when he talked about the airplane going through the clouds. Because I
yeah.
remember as a kid flying on an airplane going through clouds, and I remember saying to myself as a kid, "Why is it not raining here?" And
Yeah,
I never thought
I
about it
heard that bit
then, and
actually.
then until
Yeah,
Joey talked about it. How come it doesn't rain when you go through the clouds? And I remember as a kid going through the clouds thinking the same thing. Why
yeah,
doesn't it rain? And when he explained it, it's like, wow,
yeah.
that's the first scientific thing that makes sense.
When he was explaining that, I was thinking it's just because it's vapor, but I don't know. I missed quite a lot of it because I was preoccupied, to be honest. I was getting a bit tired and stuff, but yeah. But he's got some hell of a good lot of theories on the wall, and that's something I'm really interested in because we're never ever going to get to see it, are we? But I did find a channel called. Why does my memory always go blank? I forget. But anyway, there's a channel out there. There's a few actually, and they've they've literally got pictures of things. There's Operation Fishbowl as well. Um, uh, there's the August Picard thing where a guy went up in the 1930s in a balloon. Um, and the description in the article was bluish disc with a white haze, if I remember correctly, with upturned edges. Upturned like anyway, it described basically a flat Earth with an ice ring around it.
Well, Joey
Um,
just said that when he comes on the show Thursday, he's going to talk more about the entire FE model works.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that's
he's really well researched. He's done a lot. I mean, I'm only
yeah,
nearly
that's why
10
I
months in.
that's why I wanted him to come back, but I wanted him to come back on the show like start from the beginning. Because when he came on, it's like
Mm.
the last hour. I want to give him a fair,
Uh,
2-3
oh
hours
yeah,
to
that'll
really.
be a brilliant show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
bet
I'm really I'm really
he needs.
excited about that.
He'll be great, man. He needs more subs. He's a brilliant guy, Joey. So funny.
Well,
Is he in the chat still? I can't even see him.
yeah, he is. He just wrote Mike Haley. Are you vaping cannabis, brother?
No, no, I only smoke it in a pipe, Joey. I'm vaping toxic for the whatever's in this. Vegetable glycol, allegedly. Better than cigarettes, anyway. I have got a beer, though. Naughty.
So,
Never mind.
how much of Bob's awakening story you kind of heard today?
Pretty much all of it. Missed a few bits. What was the deal? I missed the beginning. What was the deal with the last?
Oh my
She
god!
basically, yeah,
I know it goes so not fast, but it's like, what did we
yeah.
talk about in the beginning?
I did kind of get the gist of it, but yeah. So she thinks she's going a bit loopy, or does she know that she's waking up?
Yeah, he was talking about yeah,
Oh, do you
man,
mean?
about
Oh, sorry. Did you mean Robert's awakening?
yeah, about the girl, about they went out, they had to go out and to find her. They were all looking, and it was so cool. What was so cool about the story is where they went by some gay bars, and the bar was closing down, and how
Yeah, I heard.
the gay community helped them to find her. I mean, that's just
Yeah, I
you
heard
know
that bit actually.
every community
That's
always gets
great.
bashed by somebody. It always gets bashed, but when you see the true beauty of how communities come together, and they didn't have to help
Yeah,
them. I mean, here's
it's
a
the
crazy
media.
American with a beard in the UK, you
I
know,
know.
looking for a girl. I can imagine how he looks to them, and they
Oh man,
still to help him. I mean, that's fantastic.
yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah,
It's great. And I feel bad,
but
not bad for him, but
it's
he's
the
still in
media.
another foreign
People,
country.
yeah. Honestly, people in the UK, they used to always be out and about, but the television, it's just full of fear. Everybody like, oh, lock the door, don't leave your daughter in the van when you go to the garage, all this. But in reality, everybody's friendly. They're just all brainwashed by the TV. Think everybody's out to get them. In my opinion, that's
Is
what I
it
think.
is it really like, the BBC, do they really control what what is allowed to come out on television there?
It's not. I don't think it's as bad as all that CNN rubbish, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty controlled. I mean, this beer virus bullshit that's going around, it's plastered all over the schools, and I saw an advert on my bullshit feed on my phone about it as well. And yeah, yeah.
The virus
There's a bit
thing
of
d does,
propaganda floating
it
about here.
it really does make you think, because here we are, we just signed, the America just signed with China the, tariffs deal about imports, and Trump's going on
Mm,
about, job creations. Well, how do you create more jobs? Well, you create a
yeah,
virus
exactly.
in China where things can't come over, so more things have to be made here to increase jobs. I don't know. I know that's a conspiracy
No,
theory,
no,
but it.
no.
But how do you help out your
Conspiracy
own?
theories.
Well, how do you help out your own economy? You create your own economy where other economies can't send you stuff because of viruses, because of all this. It just seems kind of weird that we just signed this big deal, and then all of a sudden, they actually had a big protest going on in China, and then all of a sudden, the virus appeared.
Mm, very strange. Oh, and they've got a what you got, a vaccination for it now as well. A vaccine,
Oh, do they have one yet?
like they didn't have that already. Yeah, they've had it already, haven't they? It's a man-made virus. Have you seen Russian vids take on it? He's really broke it down well. It's just, oh, it's crazy. There was one part of his video where it's all for drama. They're just spraying these people as they're coming out of an airplane. They haven't got foot mats or anything. They're not getting under the shoes. There's a guy, it looks like he's got a leaf blower going on this classroom or whatever it was. Just spraying fucking like a
Well,
fire hydrant at people.
did you
It's
hear
just a big
about
joke.
one of those cruise ships? Right, there's a cruise ship where they were keeping people inside their rooms for over a week or 2 weeks, and they
Oh,
couldn't
yeah, I
even
saw
leave
that.
their room. And one of the ladies was saying that they weren't allowed to leave because of the virus, but they were getting food during the day. Right, the people who were delivering
Mm.
food, a person was delivering food, delivered the food without gloves on. And one of the
It's
well, yeah, this is true. And one of the person who delivered food and had no gloves on actually was diagnosed with the virus.
scandal.
So it's like,
Oh, man.
really? Is that
Oh, dear.
it it makes you really think it's
Yeah, it
got to
just
be
makes me
fake,
laugh,
because
that it's
because why would people deliver food and not have gloves on?
it's completely fake. I've looked into it heavily. I looked into vaccines as well. I wouldn't ever get a vaccine. in my opinion. You have to take my word for it, honestly. But yeah, have a look into that. Don't want to get your channel in trouble by talking too many conspiracies, but
Oh,
that's
God,
my take on it.
God damn! I wish I had this paper. I took my
Go get it. It's up to you, man.
I no, no, 'cause I took my son, to a doctor yesterday for his physical, and they said there's a new shot. I can't. It starts with an M. I don't know the name of it. It starts with an M.
Uh,
They're like, you don't have to have it. School's not required for it, but this this kind of sickness is they're predicting it's going to be spreading soon. So it's a good idea to get this shot. I wish I knew the name of that shot. I'm like, really? Wow, they're already pushing on new shots.
oh man.
That's not even
Oh
approved
yeah, that's the,
that you have to have in schools yet.
it's crazy.
God,
Yeah, go and have a
I
look for
don't
it,
know the
man.
name of it.
It's not No, it won't be MMR. Mm, Mercury, aborted fetal tissue. Yeah, but it's
It just drives me crazy thinking of the shot. Yeah, I remember Bob's Awakening because I remember the first time, like I said earlier, we were in a car and he was talking about, hey, how come the red's on top? And
oh,
at
that really
first I
gets
was
me.
like, what? What do you mean the red's always been on top?
That one blows
You know
my
what I mean?
mind.
Because
We
I
all
wasn't
do,
there yet. I wasn't where
right?
he was at yet. So
All
I
right.
remember. So that, so it was kind of. I remember at first I was thinking to myself like, "Is he going crazy?" I was thinking that. You know. So
Everybody thinks I'm freaking nuts.
it's so when you hear these awakening stories and you're there on both sides, not just waking up yourself when you weren't awake and somebody was waking up and you don't understand it at
Mm.
all.
Yeah,
And
it
I can
must be
see where when
weird
you
from the
said that people
outside
are taking
looking
this
in.
crazy, I was actually one of them.
Yeah, weird,
You
huh?
know,
So when did you wake up to it?
it was last year. I got laid off. I was laid off for work. And
Right.
you have more time to yourself when you're laid off.
Yeah.
You're not super busy. And then Bob was showing me stuff. Bob was showing me a lot of these effects, and then he showed me the picture of Dolly without the braces on,
Mm,
and because we were huge James Bond fans, we were kids. Roger Moore
yeah.
was my James Bond. Roger Moore was the man. And when he said that Jaws, the girl didn't have braces on, I said, bullshit. You can't. No, she had braces on because that was the only reason why he liked her. That's the only reason. I'm like, no, no way. So the stuff that Bob mentioned before, where I kind of like didn't care to research, because my life was here. My life was busy, busy, busy. Going to work 6 o'clock
Yeah.
in the morning,
Yeah.
coming home 6, 7 o'clock at night, feeding the kids. And then when you get laid off and you start
Yeah. Yeah.
actually researching what he's talking about, and you're like, holy shit, there is something here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So did you dive straight into it and start ratching about for it, like what we call residue, like a madman, like I did, or not?
Yeah, yeah, that's when because uh, going to college and being in the military, you always learn to you always learn in the military and stuff. I was a military MP. I was a cop for the Coast Guard. We were
Mm,
investigating illegal ships, illegal people. So you always learn to investigate.
right.
And
Right.
then so when I had time, I started investigating. It was like, wow, holy crap.
Blows
The-
your
the-
freaking mind, doesn't it?
and it's crazy because you heard it before, and it's not that you didn't believe it. You just didn't care to research it because you just had too much stuff in your life at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where
Well, I think yeah, I was quiet because I'm a seasonal gardener, so it was fairly quiet in March. That's probably why I had time to have a look.
yeah,
Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have took it
because
so seriously.
yeah, because you have young kids too, right?
Ah, yeah, I'm busy as hell. Can't thanks.
See,
You know what it's like.
I have two kids that still in school, and Bob's kids in 2016, his kids were full grown. So
Mm.
so his lifestyle slowed down a little bit more,
Right.
where we're still living with kids that fast
Yeah.
lifestyle where we just didn't research nothing.
That's why I'm finding it like hard to try and get hold of the flat Earth evidence and all the other evidence. I mean, I've had a really good look at a lot of it, but it's hard to do it all when you've got kids, isn't it? Really. But
It
yeah.
is, yeah. And then since I got laid off, I'm studying. And then when Bob came down from the UK, that's kind of when we started to combine our shows together on this channel, where the idea was, he's already, Bob, he already knows his
Mm.
stuff, and I'm learning. So it was like we wanted to combine a show where this is the learner, this is the master,
It's a
apprentice, and a
brilliant
master.
platform.
And I
Yeah, it
and I
really
thought
is a
it,
good platform.
yeah, and I thought the show went. I thought we created a good show on two
Yeah.
different point of views that I'm still learning, because Bob, he knows his stuff. Much people um,
Oh, it does. Yeah.
like him, don't like him. He's got a lot of people that don't like him on YouTube,
Really.
but yeah, he's got a lot of people
Yeah.
that don't like him.
No.
Yeah, I get messages on the side and saying, "Hey, Eric, you're better off on your own without him." And
What?
it's I'm serious. I'm serious, and I'm like, why? You just you know
What a joke. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. I couldn't believe it when the first time I heard you, no, yeah, I heard one with you and Rob, then I heard Robert and Brian. I was like, "Who's this awesome guy?" I was like, "Oh my lord, he knew
well,
every fucking thing."
some people, there's a lot of people out there that Bob just speaks whatever's on his mind. He speaks the truth. Whatever's in here, he's gonna speak about it. And
yeah,
sometimes I think it rubs certain people the wrong way on how he presents it and all that. And it's like, if he, because his shows is different on his channel. He does more of a kind of a
yeah,
psychedelic. You
right,
heard it before, kind of a
yeah.
psychedelic, and I don't think a lot of people really gets it. But when they come here to this show, when they actually hear him speak, and then like yourself, you're
He's
like,
hilarious.
this guy knows his stuff. He knows a lot about everything. Like he's that thing, like he knows, well, not a lot, but he knows a little about every single thing that goes on. And it's just it's amazing, because I remember when
Yeah,
he came out in 2016, he was just studying and studying, investigating, and you could feel all the hard work where he's at now, because he knows his
oh, it's a
stuff.
good sense of view. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I couldn't believe it. Like the way he
I
was
mean, just
talking
like you
about it, he
said,
knew
like
so
you
much about
said,
history and
it does, because like you said in 2018, from where you started and where you're at now, you know a lot more stuff than you first
yeah.
started, and now you can see
See,
clearly. So, eh,
yeah. I mean, I listened to Brian, and he was on Russian Vid's stream for the first time, I think it was. I was like, "Wow, this is deep. I don't know about this." But then, the more you start to wake up, the more you realize that these guys are just talking absolute pure truth, in my opinion. Um, and this Russian Vid's guy, honestly, you should give him a listen. He's all about the Freemasonry symbolism and all that sort of thing. It's brilliant.
what's the name of the guy?
Russian Vids,
Oh,
Russian
Russian
Vids.
Vince. Isn't he the one that's coming on Brian's show tonight?
Oh, he is actually. Yeah, he's going on at 9 Eastern. I think
Yeah,
it
six
was
o'clock my
six
time,
Eastern.
Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time, New York
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
on it.
I'm gonna listen to that. That
Honestly,
sounds
that'll open you.
interesting.
Just have a really open mind as you do, and yeah, I'm sure you'll pick a lot out of that. You really will. It's awesome. So, what's your biggest Mandela effect then? Let's get into Mandela. I can't talk to anybody else about it at
I
all.
know. Are there's nobody you can talk to? You got no brothers or
Absolutely
sisters
nobody.
or
Just the online chats, mate. Really.
wow,
That's why I love coming on shows like this. I've only been on a few, you and Foy, I think. Yeah,
wow.
but oh, it's really hard when you're like, but yeah, but they're just not interested at all. even though I showed my girlfriend the engine um, changing from like well, we know the engine change, and she said, "Oh yeah, that is weird," and then that's it. But it doesn't bother me, she says. I'm like, "What the fuck? It doesn't bother you? Seriously?"
No,
But
I know what you're talking about because my wife, she hears me talking about it all the time with with my brother, and she don't get involved.
right, yeah,
So
it's good that you can
I know
talk
what
to your
you're
brother
talking
about
about.
it though.
Yeah, you can't
Um,
really talk about it unless like a show like this where you can kind of like
yeah, it's like
you
Fight Club.
know
Nobody talks about Fight Club. I had that on a show once.
well, it is, and it's hard now to even like while I was talking about watching movies and TVs that you watched before because now you're watching it. Now you're asking yourself, did that change? Did that change?
Yeah,
And you don't know what's real and what's not anymore.
yeah, it's weird. But yeah, the traffic light one, when you brought that up, I was like, yes, yes, they were great. I knew exactly where I was when I was looking at them as well. I was near the train station in Blackburn, and I have a vivid memory of it being just this like ripple effect plastic, and it was definitely on top. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Definitely. And Sex in the City, yeah, I used to watch it with my ex all the time in
Yes,
the
my wife
bedroom.
watched it all the time on HBO.
That's crazy, isn't it? And it was, I'm sure it was a, like, it's all pink now, and I'm sure it used to be white, a white box or a white background to the film or program. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
because why would it not be called Sex in the City? I mean, that's New York.
Well, it is when they're getting their awards. And best actress goes to blah 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 from Sex and the City. It's weird. Oh man.
It is.
But
I mean, even the simple ones, even the simple Mandela effects, like the Monopoly without the glasses. I mean, even that
oh
one
man.
was weird because it's like, how did his glass go? I mean,
But
how did he never
yeah.
had one?
That was my second one. It was the Matrix meme that absolutely even that got me. And then I looked in the cupboard at the Monopoly board and I was like, "Holy!" And then yeah, I literally it must have been a week or two. I kept checking the flipping board every single day. I was like, "This is just not right." And I went to work thinking I was going to wake everybody up in the whole place. I was like, "Come on, have a look at your Ford badge, mate." And I was like, "What the?" And he saw it. And he was like, and then he went round the back, so he obviously saw it, and I was just like, "Oh." And then a few weeks later, he's telling me, "Oh, I just watched this thing on Netflix about how the mind works." Blah blah blah. And I thought, "Oh, he's gone full NPC on me," so I just shut up after that. Um, and then there was uh, mother's husband, new husband. I said, "Hey mate, what do you reckon about this? What's wrong with this Volvo logo?" Like, fuck. Um, looks like an what's that? I was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah,
I mean,
yeah."
somebody wrote too. I remember Sex and the City, but I didn't watch the show. Somebody didn't even watch the show. Remember, because Sex and the City just doesn't. It doesn't.
That's something.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
Sex
Trouble is,
and the City.
I can't convince my girlfriend of that one because she's a bit younger. She's 10 years younger than me, so it might have been. But then again, they change for different people at different times. But it seems to be people in the like late 30s up, kind of mainly. Do you find that? Or not? I think it seems to be the sort of middle age and up.
And then, of course, I was a huge Back to the Future fan because I grew up on that movie as a kid. Growing up,
Right.
and remember the van was white and stuff, and now it's a
Oh, the
different
van
color.
gets me. Yeah, yeah.
It,
And it
you
was
know,
definitely a Toyota, not a VW.
I mean,
But the guitar, I'm not sure about. I've got dual memories on the guitar, but it wasn't a big film. I was more into. I don't know, fishing. No, but I remember, like, Luke, I Am Your Father, that again, I've got dual memories. I'm thinking it was like, No, Luke, I Am Your Father for some reason.
that is it.
Oh,
That one's a trip because I grew up on. Star Wars was the very first movie I ever saw at the theater.
yeah,
So
but
that movie is ingrained in my brain, and that change
yeah,
was a shock when people said that. I'm like, no, I had to rewatch it. Like, no,
it's weird.
no.
Do you know what's really weird? Scarab Performance. there was one show of his. Have you heard of Laurel and Yanny? The Laurel and Yanny thing. Well, they were what they were doing. They had uh, this other lad's work where he'd slowed down the "No, I am your father" to really slow speeds, incrementally going down. Um, and they were saying the guy that made the video was saying you can hear something different. I forget what it was. Um, oh man, oh I am no, I am the father. I think it was when it was slowed right down, and you couldn't hear it. And you couldn't hear it, but when it went really low, Dan, the host's voice, he went. And I did the same thing right when he did it when I was listening because it was weird. It's like
Well,
something to the Laurel Yanny thing.
even Earl Jones, the actor voice who did Darth, didn't thought it was the
Yeah,
other way.
it's even his handwriting. It's in his handwriting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think somewhere. It's
So,
weird.
and
It's
then
still blowing my
does
mind a
it?
year later.
I don't know if this is going too deep or not, but you ever ask yourself why it's happening? Like
Every day.
why? You know what I mean? It's like you wake up like, why do we even have to see these changes? I mean,
It's
why
really
is the
weird,
changes
isn't it?
happening? You ever like wake up and want somebody to actually come down and give you an answer?
Do you know what my honest answer to that is? I honestly think it's God. I was never spirit. Well, I was spiritual, but I was on the fence, kind of. But then I saw these changes, and then I just couldn't get any answers, couldn't get any evidence, couldn't get any proofs. Everybody around me was asleep, so I literally prayed about it. Um, and then I said, right, I need answers. God, please help me. I just don't know what to do. And then just give me a second. And everything just my eye. It was like I'll just fill my vape. One sec, sorry.
Oh no problem, no problem, no
Cliffhanger.
problem.
It was like my eyes kind of opened up, and I could see everything more clearly. The world just changed, and maybe that's why I could see through the sorry.
I'm just okay. Somebody was
Yeah,
texting. Yeah, I know.
um,
It's weird because you keep thinking to yourself. I mean, I guess you're right. You would have to think spiritual side because to changes to happen in this way has to be something powerful. I mean,
yeah,
because otherwise, when
but
you start thinking all the dimensions, and then here you are. I'm not saying we're all struggling, but here you are trying to trying to you're trying to understand the Mandela effect. Then here's flat Earth coming. Or
yeah,
not
yeah.
like not, and then you listen to flat Earth, and that makes sense. So now here you are struggling with Mandela effect, and then you're also now struggling with flat Earth. So now
And
you're
not
struggling with two, and it's like
not just
sometimes
that.
you're like,
Trust me.
this is too
Oh man,
much.
it's like every truth out there is just coming to me, and it's like I don't know. It's like I'm just getting information. It's weird. Yeah. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's definitely that's there's messages in it. I think there's some sort of weird messages in there. Some of the effects. Oh, you froze. Oh, if I froze.
No,
Oh, sorry. I thought you froze.
no. I was getting a text on the side. I was getting a text on the side. I was uh, my son's not turning in his homework, so a teacher was.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's when you got kids, like I said, when you got kids. So
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes that's why uh like doing a show with Bob, you know, talking about these effects, it's kind of like a release, like you're saying, for yourself because you get to talk about it. You get
yeah.
to get it off your chest because you could drive yourself crazy just
Yeah,
thinking about everything, especially like think about this. Think about when flat Earth. You watch all these movies as a kid. You watch Star Wars. You watch these space movies. One of my favorite space movies was The Last Starfighter. And you watch Battlestar Galactica on TV, Buck Rogers, and then all
yeah.
suddenly when you,
It's a
if, once
massive
you start believing
paradigm
the
shift,
flat
isn't it?
Earth, all that's false. All that's like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like it takes the fun out of it.
Oh man, yeah, it's crazy. I find it more fun knowing all this stuff and researching now. I love it, but at the same time, it is hard when nobody is interested apart from myself. But the whole Mandela community, the whole truth community, like just taking it in the stride, really, aren't they? Apart from,
Yeah.
well,
I
I'm probably
mean,
stressed out the most about it. I
I
reckon.
mean, in a lot of ways, we are lucky because the community, at least that I know, I've seen you in chats, I see myself in chats. That at least the people are so fantastic.
Yeah, they're all awesome people, aren't they? The
There
people that are
are.
affected seem to
I
be
mean, you'll get a
really
few
genuinely nice
trolls.
people.
You get a few
Yeah.
trolls, but no, of course, I don't get as much trolls that Brian gets.
Oh, that's because he talked
But
about
you know what's
some other
funny
stuff.
what's funny is I don't know why I notice these little things. You know how when a show's done, you look at the likes and you look at the dislikes. You kind of
Yeah.
do. As soon as you talk about flat Earth, and
Oh,
that
that's when
and
they
if the word
yeah,
flat Earth is in your title,
yeah.
dislikes are just bam. Just like it's like
Oh, I've seen it, yeah.
people are ready to harass you more with flat Earth versus Mandela Effect.
I even got a troll. I've only got 100 and something subscribers. I'm just new to it. I'm just messing around, just putting out a few little funny videos and a few truthy videos where I find truth. And I've had disinfo people coming on or triggered people, whatever you want to call them. But I don't know. I'm sure they're paid or something. Some of them, or that's just super triggered and super indoctrinated. Because yeah, I've had some guy came on my chat and said something like, "I think I need medical help and NHS is free and all this." Just love you, brother. I hope you wake up. But yeah, I think I don't know. It feels like a knock on a tap on the shoulder from the big man to me. Uh,
Yeah,
Never thought I'd say that in my life, but yeah, there we are. Um,
it is just so weird. It, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theory, but it's like people want to shut down the flat Earth way more than Mandela Effect, way more. I'm
mm.
surprised we haven't had a flat Earth movie or something making fun of it or something, kind of like Mandela Effect. I'm still waiting for that to come out.
Well, there was what do you call it? Behind the Curve. Have you seen that?
Behind the Curve, no.
Yeah. I watched it when I started getting into flat Earth theory. Um, fact, and the first time I watched it, I wasn't there yet, and I was like, nah, and it just set my awakening back. So it was a bit like the Criminal Minds, a bit like the. It was nowhere near like the Criminal Minds actually. It was like the what do you call it? The one. Oh, what was
Now,
it?
have you what are your thoughts about I know we talk about Mandela Effect and flat Earth. Have you
Hmm.
ever looked into the paranormal, like ghost hunting kind of
No,
stuff or anything like
no,
that?
funny, not really. I've watched a few videos about like, what was it, the rake? I was a bit interested in that because there was all these compelling pictures of this weird thing down a sewer and in the woods. I was like, whatever. And then I hear people talking about Dogman. I'm like, And then I saw an orb, and then when I was filming, well, I saw multiple orbs and deleted the video by accident. And then I think you've seen it, haven't you? The other one, the one where I caught one orb zip past. That's the only uh, supernatural thing that's really happened. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you last time I was on.
Yeah.
Something really weird happened when I was a kid, and I remember it vividly. It was like a kind of out of body sleep paralysis type thing. Um, I was just lying in my bed trying to. I maybe did tell you. I can't remember. I was lying in my bed and I knew I had to get up for school. Have I froze?
No, I'm here.
Alright, I thought I'd froze, sorry.
No, no, no problem,
Um,
no problem.
so, yeah, so I couldn't get up at all, I couldn't move, couldn't get up, couldn't open my eyes, and it was like the most lucid, weird dream ever. I was on a BMX biking around my old estate, um, and I was like, "Right, how am I gonna get up?" So I thought, "Right, I'll bike back to my house." So I biked to the house, walked walked in through the front door, which was open. I don't know why it was open. Walked upstairs, and then got into bed. And as soon as I got into bed and pulled the covers up, I woke up, snapped out of it, and like woke up. That was super weird. Yeah,
Yeah, I've actually always been intrigued with the paranormal side first. I mean, actually,
right.
when I first created this this channel, my idea was I was actually gonna start to do ghost hunting and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I did a
Right.
few walking around uh, graveyards, trying to find voices and stuff like that because I'm always how do you say it? I always looking for evidence for answers. You know, like to
Mm,
me, I've never. My brother, he believes in God now. He's really very religious, and I'm not. Hopefully, I'm not making anybody mad. I'm not fully
mm,
religious like he is,
right.
and and I'm always. I've God has never spoken to me. Maybe he has. I'm just maybe not listening like I should be. So I'm always thinking that if I go out there, if I find something spiritual, something here, then maybe that could answer my question. Because if I see a ghost or a spirit, I'm thinking then there's got to be a heaven and hell because that's a spirit. A spirit is there,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you know what I mean. It's like I want
I know what
answers.
you mean.
I want
Yeah.
answers, and I always felt that paranormal was an easier place to find answers versus
Well,
other things. Do you know what I mean?
do you know what I would suggest? Is Steve JMO. Do you know Steve JMO? He's been on with, Brian, he's been on with Truth
Yeah, I've
Seekers
seen before
Continuing.
with Brian.
He's, he's told this story a couple of times on his channel. He, he used to do similar things with EMF detectors and all that sort of thing. Um, I forget the full story, but he went down with a couple of friends down this old railway. No, it was a live railway track, sorry, with little cubby holes in the side, and there was one watcher. I forget the story right, like one spotter for trains, and he went in and I forget what happened, but they were messing around. I think he had a Ouija board maybe, and he said they were messing around. Um, it must be a true story because he said it twice on two separate occasions, exactly the same sort of thing. He's not making it up, in my opinion. Um, but he got three scratches, which is like the sign of the Trinity. Um, and something pinned him against the wall.
Wow.
And I think he said something like he was walking back out, and then he something else happened, and then he ended up halfway back in the tunnel when he was nearly out. And then he said he went to a Catholic church and like, got down on his knees, basically. And yeah, he's definitely believing in God now. After that, that was interesting. Listen, yeah, you have to
I
check
don't know.
out
This is.
that.
I have to check that out because I don't know. I'm playing sick minded here. It's like I'm wanting that to happen to me.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, yeah,
Because I really feel like paranormal, Mandela, even flat are all related.
yeah. I
Somehow
do.
they're
I
all
think
related.
it's strange how I don't know since the Mandela Effect woke me up to other things. Said that wrong way around. The Mandela Effect woke me up, and then I started looking at other things because I saw the supernatural side, uh, and
It
then
is. When you start talking about reality shifts, different
yeah,
dimensions and stuff. I mean, it's you know,
that's weird.
it
Yeah.
is weird because you know if you believe in God, I'm not trying to get religious here, but if you believe in God, that means your soul has to go to heaven, you know,
Mm.
and or if you believe in heaven, right, you have to believe in hell, right? And you
Yeah,
heard
well,
the word,
I don't know where I stand on that. I just know that there's a creator, and I feel that if you do good in the world, you do good. That's my take on it all. I'm not super religious. I have started to read the Bible or extra biblical stuff, but Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weirdness in there, but there's a lot of good messages as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
on,
one of those
I'm on
things.
my way.
You
I'm
just
still
want
on the
someone to give
journey.
you the answers, you know? Come on, give
Yeah,
me
yeah.
the answers. You know, I love this comment. Be careful what you wish for. I know, I get it. I get that.
Mhm,
I get that, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you want to know something so bad, you know. I
mhm.
mean, I was playing with the. I know this sounds stupid. I was playing with the Ouija board, trying to possess a doll at one time, just trying to do something.
Do you know, I've seen a lot of videos on it on YouTube where they're doing stuff like that, and oh god,
I
some of
have
them look.
videos on this channel here. One of my very
I'll have
first
to go back
videos.
and look.
If you
I'll
go
have to look
all
at
the
them.
way back to my first couple of videos, it's me walking to a graveyard, trying to find voices. Um,
Yeah,
made a handmade Ouija board and stuff because I mean,
I used to
I'm
think it was
so
all hogwash.
intrigued, you know.
My girlfriend's seen a spirit in this house. She says I haven't, like.
Well,
Do you know?
Bob himself
I
said
don't
that he
really want
was
to
touched. I don't know if
say
you
again.
heard. I don't know if you ever heard one of our videos when Bob said he was. The co-host went down to the basement and
Oh, and
he said
somebody
he
touched the
felt
back of his
some.
shoulder.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
actually
did hear
he
that.
did a show where he says something touched his leg, and when he went
Oh,
upstairs and
yeah.
looked, he actually had a red mark on there. And I remember him he took a picture and sent it to me. And go, look, I don't know how this got here, but there's a red mark, like a hand print on his hand on
Oh,
his leg.
I did hear that actually. It rings a bell. Yeah, yeah. That was recent, wasn't it? When he said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
bringing
I
that
did. I
recently.
caught
It's like,
that. Yeah,
wow,
yeah. Weird.
what is
Yeah,
this here? The more you learn and research, the more you understand the connections. Everything is connected. That
I
is
agree.
true. Learning. That's you know.
Mm,
Um, I know some people. We all get comments like when I used to. This is my fault. This is my fault that I used to blame some other channels that
mm.
they would come out with Mandela effects without any residue, any with any information where they come up with that. And I used to make a comment like, you should always give your source where you learned that. Now I know
Yeah.
I shouldn't think that way. I think that's because of the military, all that where you're taught to any findings you have.
Provide the
If you
evidence.
don't have
Yeah.
a source that where you got that from, um, then it's not 100% true. And I know I
Mm.
sometimes when I watch other shows, I take that too much to heart, and I got to learn that not
Yeah.
not everybody needs to show a source, but it still doesn't
Mm.
mean you should always do your research.
Yeah. Always.
And when
Always.
I
Yeah. Anything you've looked at, always double check it.
and
That's
that's
what I've been
exactly
doing.
why me Bob did this because I was going to YouTube, uh, not knowing who's telling me the truth. Who's
Yeah.
really who's really has Mandela effect? Who doesn't? Because there's some of these shows that I used to do
So,
research on where they used to be something totally different, not paranormal,
yeah.
not flat Earth, Mandela. They were a show about how to make money. Then all of suddenly the show switched right over to Mandela. So I
No,
used to
that's
think to myself, are
yeah.
they really Mandela affected, or are they just going with the new fad, the new
I know what you
popularity?
mean. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's why
Yeah.
doing this show is so fantastic because people like you, people like Joey, people like Brian, even which goddess is on our show. We interview her. People bringing information here makes it easier for myself to do research. Like sent
Yeah.
me,
Shout out to Brian actually. Yeah,
Brian
for
Staveley
connecting.
sent me an email on links to look up about flat Earth.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why
great.
I love doing this show because I'm learning.
Do you know what? That guy is awesome. He just never stops putting out videos, and he's sent loads of people to various channels. He's connected the community really well. He's
Yes,
awesome. Absolutely, like, absolutely
he
awesome
helps.
bloke.
Well, you seen him.
Yeah,
He'll
that's
jump on
great.
here. He did.
Yeah,
I never even. I asked him one time. We did a show with his permission to come on, but he
yeah.
came on two other times on his own.
Mm. It's great, and he's trying to get all the flat earthers on board as well, but he's getting there. He really is, and he's taking notes. I mean, I hear some of these other channels, and they're all speaking Mandela effects constantly, talking on the side of their mouth, Mandela effects, and
Well,
they're not even noticing.
the first time I typed in Mandela Effect, right? First time on YouTube, I typed it in,
Yeah.
and it gives you who had like the most views, right?
Oh,
I remember
clickbait
there was this
everywhere.
blonde girl. I don't know her name, and she's talking about Mandela Effect very fast, very fast. I'm
Uh,
looking at her like, no, this is full of shit. This
yeah.
is,
So,
you know what I mean? I didn't know who to go
clickbait.
to.
Yeah, that's same here. Yeah, and then I found SMQ, and he was genuine. Um, and then I don't know. I just resonated more with Brian really. Um, and then I don't know. I started diving down O'Brien's rabbit holes as well after that, and as Robert would say, I tried to debunk, but I couldn't.
Yes,
So I ended up where I am.
and some people thinking debunking is wrong. It's not. You should always do your own research so you have all the facts, and then you can make your own decision honestly. Because there's too many clones out
Exactly.
there.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just take somebody's word for it and say, "Yeah, that's the truth." No, you've got to look into it. Yeah, so that's what I
Look,
did, and
it looks
but the
like hold on, my screen.
I wondered what that was.
It's called magic.
Builder's bum.
That's magic right there, baby. See,
See, that might be a ghost.
well, once I learned that this program, Yardstream, has a green screen effect, I'm like, I got green screens at my house. So
That's that
why not
green
use it?
screen. Your
Well,
thumbnails are the best ever.
I do some crazy movie reviews and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
I don't know if you watch any of my movie reviews.
I haven't actually. I'll have to go back through your channel and have a look.
Well, every weekend, my wife and I we go to the movies every weekend to get away from
Mm.
the kids and stuff. So since I see all these movies, I thought, hey, what the hell? I'll do a review, but I kind of do it Mandela Effect style. I have a green suit that I put on, where I have a green suit and I have a tie and a hat. So I'm camouflage with the trailer doing my review. They're only like 3-4 minutes. I do for fun, you
That's
know.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just put
pretty
two up
passionate.
this weekend because I saw the Sonic the Hedgehog movie and I saw Fantasy Island.
All right. I don't really watch telly or movies anymore. Only when the kids want to see something. To be honest, or the
Well, my
missus.
daughter really wanted to see Sonic, the Hedgehog, and I thought,
Right.
that's the game that I played when I was a kid. That was my
Oh, me
game.
too. Yeah,
So, dude, so I went and saw the Sonic, right? I'm thinking it's going to be a shit movie.
yeah,
Most video game movies are crap, right? God damn it, dude! The Sonic was great.
yeah.
It was good.
What
It
did I
was like
watch?
a vintage Jim Carrey. I was like, holy shit, this movie's good.
Oh, I was watching Frozen 2 with the 3-year-old, and yeah, that was all right. It's really, to be fair. But
Yeah, actually, somebody in the chat, hey guys in the chat, I can't respond directly right now, but feel welcome to email me your questions. So yeah, guys, if you got any questions about paranormal kind of stuff, email her.
right,
She was fantastic on this show. When she came on, she was fantastic. And I don't know if
right.
you watched that one where the witch goddess was on our show.
I saw some of it. Yeah.
And when she had that machine, we're asking it questions, and we ask about flat Earth, and then in that message it said flat Earth is fixed. And I was like, wow, that was good because flat Earth, government, fixing, trying to make things round, like that's a
Yeah,
perfect
yeah.
word.
Well,
And I'm not saying that thing's real or not, but it's very interesting. It could have said anything, but it said the word fix. So
I'm
that
gonna
was
ask
that,
you.
that was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
on your channel, uh, you just do small little video clips, right? Like
Yeah,
you're not actually doing a show yet, right?
no, I've just started messing around, to be honest.
Messing around kind of
I've just
stuff.
I downloaded StreamYard, but I don't know if I'll ever get time to do anything. But yeah,
And I know you're right. It is hard to find time. Like my, I drop my kids off to school, so right now this is my free time. In about an hour, I'm picking everybody up. So
mm,
it is hard to find that time.
yeah, yeah.
But
Um,
we hit over 2 hours. So I'll let you have the last word. But everybody, there's this Thursday, um, Joey Joey
Anyway,
Joey is going to come back on the show. If anybody who missed the show on Friday, he was fantastic. Joey Rocca was fantastic. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, because that show we did on Friday, you were on that show. That show was 3 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip the show down just to the last hour, and I'm going to relaunch that show tomorrow, just so people can watch it. Watch
yeah,
Joey,
I'd love to see
and
it
on
again because I missed
Thursday
him.
we can get more deep into it.
Yeah, everybody sub Joey as well. He's awesome.
Oh, he is. He is. The way he speaks, it's easy. It's an easy listen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's
You
just a
really
friendly guy,
understand
isn't
what
he?
he's saying, and that's why I
Yeah.
asked him to come back on so I can maybe get a full 2 hours with him to really so deep. So anybody here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. In a comment, I'm going to type in uh uh true thoughts. What I'm doing right now is everybody. I typed in an email address where anybody here wants certain questions you want me to ask Joey on Thursday, email me your questions. What I'll do is I'll write down everybody's questions, and we'll just start diving in, and just diving in with Joey, and just try to get anything we can get an answer, because I think that's going to be a great show. And before we leave, I appreciate you, Michael, coming on, kind of taking over Bob's spot, because what he
No,
had to do.
thanks for
And
having
I,
me, mate. I've loved it. It's brilliant. Nice to
yeah,
be able to talk to somebody about it finally.
I know
Yeah,
it was
great.
short notice. I know it was very short notice, but
No,
I had
don't worry.
fun with you. This was great, kind of just talking about how it affects us. Not getting ants. I think that was kind of fun. So, is there
No,
anything you want to say before we jump off?
no, I just want to say, yeah, it's brilliant, brilliant job. Just like the more people that talk about it, the better. And if I had more time, I'd do more myself, to
Hey,
be honest. And
yeah, I
yeah,
appreciate that.
great stuff.
It's a lot of people said I shouldn't even do a show like this. People say I should not do it because I do have some hearing issues where sometimes my speech is not. It's not my speech is not like Brian. That grabs you.
Yeah,
But I still appreciate people taking those faults, and you know what I mean, going
that's
through
no
that,
worries.
and actually just listening. Because I always said this. Sometimes we're not the best speakers in the world, but we all still have a message to say. We all got something to say. Every one of us.
Yeah.
Some
But
people are
we've
just
both
better
got
at
our
doing
faults.
it than some others.
Yeah. I'm terrible on camera. I can't. I'm practicing for my wedding speech, to be honest.
So,
But,
well, everybody, I want to thank everybody for jumping on, and I'll see you guys this Thursday. All right. Thanks, Michael, for coming on.
yeah, thanks a lot, mate. Thank you very much.
No
Cheers,
problem. Talk to you
everybody.
guys later.